Yes.
If we were to go with one of the systems, the 42 kilowatt system, how would the funding take place? Like, how would we, first we would find out whether we got the grant or not, right?
Of course.
And then when would we have to make the payment for the balance of what it was going to cost?
You'd work that out. The contractor has in the full measure here a date when they'll do their work, when your payments are due, and that sort of thing. And I've worked with this company some in the past. It's usually 1/3 down, so it'd be about, in this case, it'd be like $7,000, 1/3 when they arrive, and then 1/3 when they complete, which would be about $7,000 and a couple $100, 7,000 something.
And then they would get the grant money directly from the state?
Yes, that check is cut directly to the installer. There is no paperwork that you as a board have to do. If you should approve this, then your agent, Kerron or Bob, would fill out and sign the papers. That's it. This is a very, very streamlined thing, although it's kind of an onerous application.
Maintenance costs?
The maintenance costs are folded in here, and the panel itself has a 25-year guarantee. It has no moving parts, of course. The inverters, I think you should assume, and they assume, that you're probably going to have to replace inverters once, maybe twice. So I think their factor is 1.5 or 1.7 times replacement of inverters. That's folded into these cash flow situations here. I noticed that in here they have improved somewhat in the lifetime of the warranty of the one you initially start with. This would be the first time we've gone with 10-year warranted ones. The ones at my place and the ones we did with the farmers last year were all 5-year warranties. The one that they're providing for you here, although that's a business decision of your own, it's a 10-year. There is a 15-year one possible. There's questions about whether that's a cost-effective investment for you or not. There are no warranties on inverters beyond 15 years.
The warranty for cost of labor, 100%, or prorated?
Labor and materials on the inverters.
Now, in the event we decide to go this direction, like every other municipality, financial issues are of great concern these days. And should we, at the time October comes, they say we have the grant, say, you know what, maybe this isn't the most prudent thing for us to do right now. What kind of liability do we incur there? Any?
None whatsoever. You have nothing invested except in one thing that's very significant. You have your time, you have Mr. Barnes and Bob's time. That's all that's invested here.
Any other questions at this time, Judy? No. Thank you. Kerron,
I'd just like to add one thing that, as we met last week, we discussed various options and possibilities. Our strategy was consider doing both so that you wind up with a 42 kilowatt system from the grant if you should be lucky enough to get it. And then you wind up with a 25 kilowatt system. It's almost 85% paid for by the state. To add the two together, your savings, again, this is the chart that you have in your package, and it projects, the reason it goes up in this kind of a straight or even curve is they're projecting that electricity costs will increase 5% a year. So each year your savings goes up. This stuff is practically free. And the difference between that and what the electric company would charge you is this. So the one system, the 42 kilowatt system, if you look on the last page, that page shows you the annual savings, and each one is added to the other one. So the first year you save, you pay out money. Then the third year you make $8,000. So the bigger system would net you, according to this projection, $471,000, and the 25 kilowatt system would net you $273,000. That's almost $750,000. You might not get both. The second one is perhaps has more surety than the first one. The first one's very competitive, but, we're not at risk for a whole lot here.
And may I make another comment?
Still.
You may also elect to go for the larger system at the 90%, find out in October that you didn't get it, it's for highly competitive, then you may submit the 42 tonight, sir. If they're on different meters, which I have forgotten about at the moment, if they are on different meters, you may submit both of them for the NYSERDA.
A maximum 25.
Oh, that's right. That's only 25, so that's right. So we have to cut her back. I'm sorry, we have to cut it back. I would like to make one other comment if I could. You'll also find in your packet the environmental review. I think all of us are having a major educational moment in our lives about where our history is identified. Here are the environmental benefits from a 42 kilowatt system. Over its lifetime, it's guaranteed for 25. There are panels that are 93% efficient in their 40-some years. But over 25 years, there would be 2,439 50-gallon barrels of oil offset. Car miles not driven, 2,132,308. Acid rain emissions reductions in pounds, 9,000. Smog emissions reductions in pounds, 4,325. Greenhouse gas reductions in tons, 1,705,846. An equivalent number of mature trees planted, 4,084. And this is something that is a legacy for our children, and it is, in my mind, no small part of this, of the kind of thing that we all must begin to find 1,000 new ways of doing something like this for our children and our grandchildren. And this is very specific to the 42 kilowatt system.
Any other comments? Questions?
Thank you, Richard.
Thank you.